Hello again, Christy. Welcome.
Hi.
And hello, everybody. This is Jane Celia Hatch. I'm the host of this program, and I'm so excited to have Christy Campbell because I've seen her on so many interviews, and I thought she's not just a beautiful person, but she has a
Oh,
beautiful
thank you.
energy field. And I was always so amazed after you told your story that you've maintained like this beautiful energy field. And you must have come from the angelic realm, considering what
Hmm.
you've been through and
Yeah.
that you survived it. So thank you.
That's right. I did.
Yep.
I'm sure you did too, So
Well,
you
thank
probably,
you.
yeah. I know you probably would have to be able to resonate with those who have, or pick it up
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
to survive what we have survived. And I've also heard that that's why we were chosen by
Hmm.
these very nefarious deep state dark ops, is because of our ability to survive and to perform all those crazy things they want done. And
Hmm.
so I'm just
Yeah, so you got your Valentine's flowers.
yes, I thought that would be add
Uh-huh.
some feminine
Hmm.
detail. And
Hmm.
I love flowers. I make flower essences, and
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I find them very healing no matter what form they're in, flowers
Hmm.
or essences or potpourri. They have a really high vibration.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
um
true.
Yeah, and the essences are put in water, and then it's the combination of the sun and the water and the flower, and they make like an electrical charge. So they actually work on
Oh.
your energy field.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I
Do you do
just
that for yourself or do you sell those
I
on online?
well, it's a good question. I have sold them and I do sell them. I haven't really been promoting it too much because
Yeah.
I've been writing books and I've been busy.
Hmm.
And but yeah, I have a website. I just haven't
Oh,
really kept it going, but
yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to drum for one
Oh, your drum.
second.
Okay.
I'm just calling in all the loving and compassionate guides and our angels and all the positive, loving spirits. So, anyway, I'm going to read your bio, and I'm sure we'll go above and beyond what this list, because I do have a lot of other questions.
Hmm.
But Christy Campbell is from Oklahoma, and she is of Cherokee, Cree, and German descent.
Yeah.
I've
Creek. Hmm.
it's often that we have some German blood when we're in these programs, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
She is a survivor of the U.S. military's Montauk Project, of My Lab, the CIA's MKUltra, and after her mind fracture at Montauk, she has been used as a sex slave off planet on Mars. And is it Ceres?
Yeah. Series and many other colonies, space colonies that we don't
Yeah,
always see the name of the places. We're just taken there, to work or however.
yeah, I've heard
Hmm.
that it's hard to tell where you are if you're portaling in and portaling out and you're kept underground or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah, so I know there was more, but it's hard to keep up with all the timelines and the time travel. And you're all, I don't know if you were cloned as well as I know a
Hmm.
lot of other, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, she was also unfortunately used in satanic rituals at the Mother Goddess Castle in Europe,
Hmm.
and as a psionic super soldier who was trained in psionic assassinations.
Hmm.
Um, George Bush Sr. was your handler and a man you said you've known for many lifetimes.
Right.
You're also a healer, a psychic, a shaman, I would say,
Hmm.
a Karuna Reiki master, and tarot reader, and you have your own channel, which I'll put below this.
Yeah. I do the readings for people
Oh
too to
yeah,
help them
I'm so
find.
excited about
Hmm.
that. That
Yeah.
was so nice of you to offer that.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll do the hour for my interview, then we'll do the last hour then on yours, like do the
oh
cards and stuff.
wow,
So yeah,
thank
we
you.
can learn some more stuff too.
It's
Hmm.
funny. I was looking at this poster before you arrived. I'm thinking these eyes look just like Christie's.
Oh, how cool. I
Isn't it?
love that.
You do?
Yeah, I love that.
Because your eyes are
I
definitely
love,
just distinctive. And these are the same color blue. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do. Yeah. I love that. I love ET everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be connected with the alien stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. With the
And
grays and all of them really, you know. So I don't have like a fear or a hate of any of them, you know, like that. So
really, not
it's
even
kind of
certain Dracos, or I've never heard a super
yeah.
soldier said they love them all.
Yeah, I don't there's like love and respect, I guess, with the Draco. Like they more respect. You have to kind of respect their presence and everything. So I can see that I would be that way and not a love, because I don't think that they have that
Yeah.
capacity to love, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but they do have where you are, they respect you for being respectful, for, you know, probably going along with what they want you to do and everything too. Yeah. So I can, unless it's like an attack or something like that, then of course you don't, that's something completely different than just the whole galactic kind of groups or federations or however you want to call them, you know, the space ETs that we interact with. That's mostly what I'm referring to when I say that the whole variety of them, you
Yes, I
know?
see. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And your psionic skills as an assassin, could you use them on something like a Draco, or was it only other humans that you were able
Yeah,
to?
because in the program too, then the Draco actually were training us to we would sit at an interrogation table and they would train us to be able to withstand a psionic attack from them. And then so we would have to learn to
Really?
block it, and then we would have to learn to give it back to them so they could feel it, you know. And then we have to also have in our mind something else, like we're thinking of something else, so they can't read our mind and go into our mind and gather the information. So we have to, they train us with all of that, you know, the mental stuff. Yeah.
And I know you've said you have some, as we all do, some galactic or ET bloodline. And I think you know exactly what that is, do you?
I know I have like the Lyran, Syrian, Pleiadian. I know Arcturian. I have a mixture of little percentage of a lot of DNAs of all of the galactics, because I think that I am a star seed of all of these different races, you know, so I've been all of these races or have
Mm-hmm.
aspects as them, or interact with them. So I've asked for their DNA as well, so I can have their information or healing abilities, or just be able to merge with them and communicate with them telepathically. So I've requested it through my higher self to have a percentage of like Arcturian, Syrian, Pleiadian, praying mantis. Some people don't like the praying mantis or insectoids, but it's kind of like you have to have that DNA as well too, you know, because some people prefer the reptilians over the insectoids or something like that. You know, they kind of have a
Mm-hmm.
preference with that too. So I am more toward the mantis and ant people and insectoids, and I know that I've helped a lot of different like beetles and different species as a galactic emissary, being like a person that would be listening between the two, you know, two parties having a
Mm-hmm.
you know, some kind of a if it was an argument or a settlement or something, then these galactic emissaries will go in and then they just listen to the sides and then help them come up with a peaceful plan or something to, you know what I mean? So
So
I
you
know
were
I've helped.
also used as an ambassador
Oh
between
yeah,
species?
most
Oh, I didn't.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, the list of what you've done is so long. I don't think we'd ever get it all
Yeah.
in one
Oh,
interview.
I
But
know.
and
Hmm.
we're jumping way ahead because I did want you, if you can, to start at the beginning, at least the beginning in this timeline. I know you have different timelines and you probably have different alters, but
Hmm.
how did it begin? And I've heard a bit of it. When you were a child,
Hmm.
correct, in Oklahoma, you were abducted from your home. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I didn't even recall that until much later in life, you know, like that whole childhood was blanked out of a lot of stuff and a lot of missing time in that,
Yep.
in like around 5 years old or so, like a lot of missing time. And I tried to figure out why that we was like it felt like there was a tornado coming, and then what I saw later on was like a zeta gray when we were being I have a twin sister, and we're being abducted, by them and stuff. So and I've asked Ivan Teller, about that too. Asked
Yeah.
him if that really happened, because I question everything too, and I'll ask Ivan Teller or other channelers if they see this or that, so yeah, that was the time around 5 years old being abducted. And so this is like me in in this life. And then so they would abduct and then take you out of the time. And then they put you over here and take your genetics and your DNA, and then they just put you back. Like if you're sleeping or if there's something, but
Hmm.
they can erase time. They can
Mm.
rewind time. They can do anything with time. They can stop it and then just put you back in that moment that they took you. So you would never know, even as we're
Mm.
talking, that something would happen because they just rewind it and then put you right back in that moment. And so that's how abductions, a lot of them happen. And people are like, I have a mark on me now, and they didn't have it before, so then
Hmm.
like they start to question how that happened or something. But anyways, but this is when taken out, and I don't recall seeing my sister with this stuff. I don't recall seeing her. I just remember seeing myself in these things. And then taken out 5 years old. And then so this would be like they're cloning my my DNA and everything, making clones with my consciousness, like taking a
Hmm.
fractal of consciousness and putting it in clones, and then putting in all of these programs that they're going to be doing, because I'm involved with multiple 20 and backs, not just one with the George Bush Sr. This is going to be others with ET races that I haven't been able to find out, because that's like top secret with the ETs. They won't tell even Jim Charles, and he's a channeler for the ETs. He said that's top like classified.
Mm.
I can't even open it, um, so I just have to kind of slowly ask other channelers or try to heal that, and then ask others, because I've asked Sean Bond, and he said one of the altars was like on a planet like a gladiator taken by the Draco. And then it's like being a sex slave and then a gladiator, and then killed and regenerated, like multiple times. And so that's
Mm.
probably somewhere like that, one of those. But then with this one though, I'm talking about like the 20 and back with George Bush Sr. That's one that I have all of the whole 20 years like mapped out. I got that one all completed. Um, this is that the one that you was wanting me to go into with the George
Yeah,
Bush
I think
Sr.?
so. Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
that would be
Yeah.
very interesting and astounding and all of the above. Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I see George Bush Sr. as he would be like around the 1990s, how he looked then with the glasses, and he kind of before when he was first making that speech with the New World Order, that
Oh
one where it's
yeah.
like the 1990s, I think. So I see him
I
with
think
that, and
I
sometimes with glasses on too. So sometimes he wears those glasses,
Oh
like
yeah.
so he looks like that to me. And always he always has that same look, same age to me. So I know that later on in life, when he in this life, when you see him getting older and in a wheelchair, that's not him.
Oh, okay. So
That's not the same person at all.
he's gone off the planet
Yeah, I
now.
believe. I mean, he passed away and stuff too already, but this is gonna be other clones of him that
Okay.
like he probably left Earth and went to Mars or something, something like that. Because I think that he did have some kind of something happen, like he passed out or something around this time.
I
Are
um
you,
I
are you there?
did bring up a picture of
Oh,
him.
okay. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Um if it will come up. Low system sources may affect your quality. Okay. Um oh, I see it's hidden behind you. Okay. I mean, not that everybody doesn't know what he looks like, but is this how you
Yeah.
recall him?
Uh-huh. Yes,
Okay.
and then he would sometimes have those. He was more skinnier though. When he kind of like was darker complected too.
Yeah.
because he kind of looks darker complected, and then he has glasses on too.
You
So
know, I
this
found,
might be like a clone right here. That one might not be exact. It kind of
oh,
looks like
yeah,
that
you know
though.
what? That kind of does look like a clone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
He's
found
kind of
strange?
pale.
Really bad teeth for somebody that's a millionaire. You know, we all
Oh
think
yeah.
we had
Mm-hmm.
$1 million, we'd have millions, we'd have perfect teeth, but that's kind of strange anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't feel quite. I don't
yeah,
feel
I
a
know what you
connection
mean.
to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could show you the exact with the what he has on glasses, and it's like in the 1990s,
Okay, yeah,
like
yeah.
that, where he looks like he's a CIA person with the jacket and looks like the 1990s, how the cars looked and everything too,
Yep. Yep.
That's how, and he had darker hair and it's kind of pulled over to the, like that. I think he was kind of good looking to me. I have that in my proper program or something, with that,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
So
we run an image of them or a version of them through our minds. It may not even be the real one, but the one we've been programmed to see.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of make the connection, you were abducted or alters of you were abducted. And
Mm-hmm.
just to try to get us from that to George Bush. And why do you think George Bush was chosen for me for you? I know Dick Cheney is often mentioned as handlers. I know a woman I'm writing a book about, Elizabeth Wallace, who is the bloodline daughter of Queen Elizabeth, who's come out of hiding to tell about her MK Ultra and Monarch programming. Queen Elizabeth and Hitler were her programmers, and
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Mengele.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering what it is that it must be some form of twinning or someone that can absolutely control you through some sort of
Yeah,
relationship you've had in
it is.
past lives.
Yeah, because I can see him in different realities, in different lifetimes too. Like like if you would say past lifetimes, when you're kind of, it's not really a past, it's just another timeline,
Yeah.
and it's in the past or it's another place or however. But I've seen him in these places, like as a magician or a wizard, kind of witch, kind of lifetime there, and as like Templar. And then also I can see him where he would be, I was like more of his daughter almost. I felt like his daughter, or aspect of it, not in this life, this other lifetimes, just connected to him. And I would always just hear him coming in my house and then just saying like to come with me, and I'm like 6 or 7, and he's taking me in his car, and it's like a 1990s looking, um 80s 90s car, kind of Oldsmobile, kind of that kind of car.
Right. And where
And
was your parents?
this is in my memory, this is in my mind that I'm seeing it, and I don't even see any parents. I just see him as my parent in that,
Oh,
but he's
another
not.
lifetime. Another
Yeah,
lifetime. Okay.
this is just as a memory that comes back, or he's projecting it as he can come in and pick me up, and I would just willingly go with him and sit with him in the
Okay.
front seat.
Gotcha.
And so I'm little though. I'm like, he's like driving, and I'm like probably 6 years old or something, sitting next to him in the front seat, and it's the seat, the Oldsmobile, like where there's no, it's a long seat like
Yeah.
that. So I'm sitting next to him, and then he's like, we're going to wherever, and I just go along with him, and I'm happy to be with him. Um like I feel comfortable that he'll take care of me, even though he'll say or do things that I get my feelings hurt when he'll say something that's, you know so he's not so mean to me in a way that, um he'll say things, but it's not, unless I'm in trouble, then I'll feel it, and he knows I don't like to be in trouble or something like that, because I get my feelings hurt by him. So he uses that, that kind of manipulation, to where he would be like, you didn't do good at her on this job, or you didn't do good today, or I'm disappointed in you, or if he said something like that, then that would hurt my feelings, so I wouldn't mess up.
Mm.
I was perfect, and I do things perfectly, even now, like so perfect with things, so, and I think it's that program, that's kind of a program thing, so
Yeah, well, why don't you
yeah.
take us from your abduction? And I know you said there was fragments. So it
hmm
wasn't always you in this lifetime. Was it a
right.
fragment in a clone that led you to, let's say, Montauk? Was Montauk the
Yeah.
first step in shattering your mind so that you could go on and be
No.
used? Why don't you, can you
Mm-mm.
tell me kind of the sequence as best
Okay.
as you can?
So Montauk is like, if this is this lifetime, and then we're taken out and over here, and then so our consciousness is taken, and then they can use our consciousness, like say it's like on a computer like this, and then so they can take pieces of our consciousness and put it in all these different clone bodies,
Right,
you know. So each one of these is a life form, really,
right.
and then they will fragment that clone by sex trauma, sexually abusing that child. The mind was split, and then they create the altars. Okay, so but this Montauk is like a pocket reality. It is
Mhm.
completely separate than the 20 and back SSP. It's not. It's a complete different reality. So there's other things that occurred before Montauk, like the Project Ibis. I was there, and then sent to Montauk. But these are like pocket realities that these are occurring in, like um clone aspects of me. Just say aspects of me, because it is an aspect of my
Mhm.
consciousness in these
Mhm.
bodies, and who knows if this is the original copy. Where's the, how would we know? You know what I mean? Like that, if you're a clone, or that's you know what I mean. So um we wouldn't know we're clones. I don't think that either. I don't think you're a clone. You just, and then you're
Mm.
just, when you pass away, then it's just like being put back into the, returning back to the main frame is what I always see it. Like it's like gathered back up here, so and then the clone is just regenerated, or however, and then they would upload a new consciousness onto that clone, and it can be anybody. It can be a man or woman or alien body with your consciousness, so like that. So the realities can be multiple realities in many places. So that's hard to figure out every place you've ever been, with, yeah, with
I'm
all the
just
programs.
going through my mind the different interviews with you. And so, I know you've talked about jumping from helicopters and swimming from
Uh-huh.
dolphins and,
Mm-hmm.
the mother of darkness. And then you
Yeah.
were, kept somewhere by a nurse or someone, and George
Okay.
Bush would come
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, let's
um,
talk about that one then. I'll stick on this line, the 20 and back with George Bush Sr., so I can give a complete story with that. So, at this age of 5, then in this other aspect of me, taken into the SSP, the secret space program,
okay.
and then so this is going to be taken and then put into, like, it's an abandoned, how I saw it was an abandoned psychiatric ward hospital, and it was like abandoned, so the paint was peeling, and nobody was even there, and I was like 5 years old, and then it's like it looks like a cell, a jail cell, but it's opened, and then the room is like a single bed, and then it's all the paint's peeling, and then I have like a bookshelf and a dresser, and then just the bed, and then and it's like pink, the color of the bedspread is like a light pink color and stuff, and they have a kind of little girl like in there in a way. It's much just, just as a few books and stuff like that, but not like really any toys or anything either. Um, and then my clothes, or however. But then there is a nurse that sits over here across the hall in like it's like the bath area, and she just sits there because she can kind of see me through the chair, like she's sitting in the chair, and she looks like she's in the white uniform with a straight cap, like that
Hmm.
kind of a cap, and the short skirt, but it's like a form fitting white, like that, like German looking. um and so she doesn't say much, though. She doesn't really communicate with me or anything like that. She's just there to watch to make sure that I take a bath, brush my teeth. Like she monitors all that part of it, and then brings to me my food and stuff like that. So she's kind of like the babysitter. And then George Bush Sr. would come in. I would hear him coming in. It would be like down the hallway here outside of my room, and it's like a single hallway coming in, and it's from the outside here, you know. And then come in, and he's like talking or whatever, maybe kind of to himself or something. He didn't have anybody with him. And then he says hi to her or whatever, and how's everything, or I think he maybe gets a chart and maybe looks and sees how everything's going, you know, kind of like a doctor would in a way. And then comes in my room and says hi to me, how, you know, real sweet, kind of like that too. How you been doing? And then he would just come in and sit with me and just kind of like petting my hair, you know, like that. And then I would just feel loved, you know, because this nurse wasn't ever talking or showing any kind of an affection or anything like that. So
Christy,
he would show that affection.
were there any other children or any other
Uh-uh.
adults? So you were
No.
all by yourself. Do you
Uh-huh.
think it was a military operation? Was it naval or Air Force or Germans, or you don't know?
It doesn't feel like that. No, it just
Okay.
feels like a place that he I he had I've heard two other girls say that they've seen this place too, that they were there too, but they
Okay.
wasn't there when I was. I didn't see
Okay.
he didn't go to any other room but my room, you know.
Okay.
So he would come in, and then he just kind of sit with me on my bed, and then just sit and get a book and next to me on the bed, and we'd start reading. He would read the book, you know, and then this book is going to have like codes or um little sayings that kind of put me in a different altar, you know. So then, because he would read it in a way that says something, like if it's I I can hear it and see what he's saying, but it's to trigger the altar to come, like I feel like I fall asleep, but then the other altar is awake talking to him, like a complete different. And then she is more of where he's going to do the abusing at this time with like I can see him like pulling up a cart, and it has different instruments on it, you know, as far as like tools or like poker things, things like this, that he is training me to withstand these um the pain of um that will be occurring later when he's sending me to the places that will have to go to, because it's
So
going to be
he
like a,
starts to torture you.
yes, in this altar it's taught to completely not say a word, completely quiet, no crying, it doesn't hurt, nothing, you know, because he'll say like, now this feels good, or he completely opposites the speech, you
Yeah,
know,
well
like this
that's
feels
MK
good.
Ultra. Everything's the
Yeah.
opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then that altar is the one that he pulls forward to do that with, you know. And I don't know their name. I don't know any of that part, but it's more of a um just programmed to do these things, and then to be able to withstand that. And then also this altar too, because later I seen that um it's more like um Anton LaVey or something, like a um um somebody like a magician would come in. Um I also think it's Aleister Crowley, so I get them too
Hmm.
confused because I see both of them in my mind.
Hmm.
So I don't know if they're different places or what, but I can see both of them in this interrogation room like place, but they are giving me um they're doing different things psychologically. um I almost blanked this part out because it's more of a different altar, and it's this program, and then they erase it because they have me be able to give these assassinations with my mind, you know, where I can mentally um with my psionic abilities, like they're training psionic abilities, but in a way, I mean, I must have been already bred, or my DNA for it, or enhanced in a way too. because I'm able to um look at, or even not even look at the men, just see them in my mind, and then be able to assassinate them like they have an aneurysm. When this little girl is being taken to these parties like the Playboy Mansion or something like that. I never know the names of the places. It's just a target, a man, an old man, go in, and then he's, or blackmail, either way. But then the the target is to either assassinate, or it's on video, of course, and then she just leaves. But so I'm trained to do that as this little girl,
So
in this place.
so he was sexually abusing you and torturing you
Mm-hmm.
simultaneous to giving you love and affection, which is MK Ultra
Yeah.
mind control.
Mm-hmm.
So how soon after this fracturing with abuse were you sent out as an assassin, or were you
This
sent out to the Mother of Darkness and some of the, or
oh
is that a different timeline?
the Mother of Darkness is later,
Okay.
in this timeline.
Okay, go ahead.
But
Sorry.
yeah, the no the 5 years old, and then so it's really soon, because
Okay.
I'm able to be trained really fast, with that. And so they just test it out too. They go ahead and send me to the places to do it, and I'm always doing exactly what George Bush Sr. says. Exactly. He'll give me what I have to do, and then I'll do it exactly what he says. I follow it. And then it's being taken to this, wherever I'm taken to, get out, and then I'm taken to the room or whatever, and whoever comes in, I don't always see their face or nothing like that. I don't remember that part of it. But then they do what they're supposed to do with the kid. Like, I just blanked that out, and I don't even remember any of that
So
part of
you're
it.
like
The
a
section.
honeypot too.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
they're pedophiles and they're raping you,
Yes.
and then
Mm-hmm.
you kill them,
Mm-hmm. Either that, or just it's on video, and then
or
it
blackmail.
yeah, it's always on video. But some of them, they want to be assassinated, so they'll have me do that with my mind, so I'll be able to give an aneurysm, and then they just fall to the floor, and I just walk out and then go to my car, wherever the car is outside. They instruct me to go wherever, so that's what I do.
How
And
many
yeah,
politicians do you think in our world are operating under blackmail? What percentage? Very, because you're the inside world, you've seen it. On most of them under blackmail.
I would think so, because
Yeah,
they have to be controlled, and and
yeah.
that's the only way, really, is to do that. And if they can't be controlled, then they probably don't want them, so they probably
And
get
it,
rid of them.
yeah, and then if they're
Hmm.
not controlled, you're sent in as an assassin
Right.
to kill
Hmm.
them. Yeah.
If they want to get rid of them, yeah, if they're too old, or they want a new person in their place, like that. They want them to move out of the office, and then someone else in, so they'll
Yeah.
do that kind of work
Do you
too,
think any president is ever elected? I mean, it seems like they're planned 10 years ahead of time who's going to be positioned, according to like Kathy
Yeah.
O'Brien and Elizabeth
Hmm.
Wallace. It's the New World
Yeah.
Order knows who's going to be in there and what they're going
Yeah.
to do. And if they don't do what they're said, they're taken out. Do you agree?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
any president would have even like how
Yeah.
Trump is, he's supposed to be all the stuff and do, but I know it's planned, because every so often the good comes up, and then every so often then it's the bad time, so it's kind of like in times and stuff. So it's time for the
Yeah.
this part to rise up, and then the negative to come up and fight, and then so then
Right.
it causes an awakening in people. So it just is in phases like this.
Right. And one sort of overlaps the other and one prepares for the next. Like the
Yeah.
last 4 years were, and it's all about mind control of us too. Like
Mm-hmm.
what,
Right.
how they want us to think and how they
Being
want us to,
divided,
yeah, and how they want us
and
to
fighting.
hate each other.
Uh-huh.
That's a huge one. That is
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah,
which
they
is,
like that.
yeah, they like that.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry to interrupt you. So you've gone from this sanitarium or something with George Bush, and you become an assassin. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're also going to be used for a sex slave off planet. And
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, you
So
go
then
ahead.
this
Go
is like
ahead.
from 5, 6, and then so like around 7 years old, then I am sent somewhere else, like to to like a mansion place. It looks like a mansion. It's like a round bedroom up at the top of the stairs, and
Is it
then some.
Mother of Darkness? Or you don't know
This is
yet?
just as like um
Okay.
this is just a I'm still doing honeypots work, but I'm just sent to another location where I have my own bedroom, but George Bush Sr. is still coming in and doing the same reading to me and still doing the programming, and he brings me like little jewels and stuff like that too, like little
Mm-hmm.
cases
Yeah.
with a necklace or jewels or something like that
Right,
too.
right.
And then so I'm always just he's always keeping me on point, on tracks, because he gets awarded for my behavior, my production, my everything, like a score kind of thing like that, you know.
We
So
also
he
must get paid millions of dollars for these
mhm,
assassinations and these
yeah,
blackmails. So he's
yeah,
becoming richer and richer and richer on your body, your child
mhm,
body.
yeah.
Okay.
And so then I'm there at this house and stuff, and still being sent out to the different parties and still doing the same kind of work from like 7 and 8, and then like 9, 10 years old or so, then I'm sent to like a military camp. It's like a camp because there's other kids there too, and it looks like a college campus that's closed down, and then we're training like exercising, you know, but I think that we're doing kind of combat stuff too in a way, like preparing for other things too mentally. And
Mm-hmm.
then he would call me though, George Bush Sr. would call me on, and like I would have a phone call from him, and he's still doing the same, like checking on me and stuff like that. And because I was seeing like a payphone, you know, like that kind of a thing. Like it's a payphone that I would answer, and he's checking on me, and then I hang up, and then I go right back out to my training and stuff like that. So it's like boot camp almost in that way. Um, and I think it's like for maybe training for like um, maybe because I see like stick fighting and stuff like that with others, but it's more exercise, you know, maybe endurance or something. But that's like from 8 to 10 years old at this place, and then um from 10 years old until so at the end of the 10, like when I'm turning 11 years old, then I'm like getting my period and stuff like that. So from 11 till 11 and 12, 13, 14 years old. So then this is when they send me to like, it looks like the Bates Motel, the house does. This is the Mothers of Darkness um, place. It's they have multiple networks, but then they send all these girls to different houses and stuff. So it's like not just like a castle place, it's different houses and networks and stuff. So then they have parties where all these handlers bring the girls from other houses and stuff at this place where I'm living. Like I'll go in and I go up the stairs, and then my room is over here on the left hand side, and I'm living with two other girls that are already there, and a mother that runs the whole house. And the girls there are like put up of a points. They have to eat a certain thing, they have to dress nice, they have to clean up everything. They're like Cinderella, you know, in that way, kind of thing, kind of that. And then so they have a score thing there too, and if you have to get this amount of points, and they mess with my food, my clothes, just so I would get points deducted, and then I'm just sent down to the basement area to spend, and I wouldn't get my points or so. But then you have to also have you're in these rituals, like they would come to say it's a place like this here, you know, like
I
castles
looked
in
up
this way.
Mother of Darkness and this
Hmm.
came up. Do you think this
Yeah.
is it
If
in Belgium?
well, there's different houses that
Okay,
we're
but it
sent
looked like
to.
this.
I mean, yeah, this is familiar. You know, like it feels really familiar with
Ooh,
going inside, and then it would be like it's not it's probably maybe a bigger house or something underneath or something like that
okay.
too. I think it's going underground in this house here, you know? And then
Okay, yeah.
upstairs there's things too that the girls would live up in the top area. They keep the girls up in there as prisoners, you know, in all those rooms and stuff. with the staff and stuff, like the maid, staff up there too. So you're out of sight, but yeah, like those girls would live up in the top area, and they have to stay up in there until they come down to go and eat, you know, um, and then um and they have to clean too. They have to clean certain places or do the gardening work too, or whatever. They have chores that they have to do, whatever it is. It will be
So,
different.
how many people would you come across all different types of people, the public as well as the satanic and the military? Did anybody suspect, or I guess if they suspected and they ratted, they'd be killed, but it just seems so strange that these children never get reported or helped or rescued. It's such an insidious
Yeah, I mean,
situation.
they're all under the mind control,
Right,
in an
right,
altar. They're in an
right.
altar.
Yeah,
You're in another altar. This is another altar that's trained for this too, so each
yeah.
one of them will be a different altar, and that's kind of programmed for this, and that's supposed to be like doing the job or whatever, but the mother of the house assigns all the work and stuff like that. So, and then there will be parties where the handlers come in, and then all the girls are dressed up like in fur shawls or something, and their hair's all done up and makeup, and so they look older than 14, 11, 12, 13, 14. They look older than this, and they carry, we all are like more, we don't act like kids,
Yeah.
we're very mature and how we carry ourselves, and so then at these parties, then it's like a big long table is what I was seeing, like a long table, and all the girls are up on the table like a gynecological exam, like that kind of a thing where you're on the edge of the thing. And then all these people at the party, they start, there's something going on with the energy too, like a build up, of
Yeah,
it,
like
because
a
it's like a
satanic.
like some,
Yeah.
yeah, like that, like
Yeah.
some kind of, there is a high priestess that's doing and I was seeing it like a Farrah Fawcett looking lady, and she does like the ritual stuff like that or whatever, and then it begins, and it's like a whole fester energy up, like the build up, and then they have all the men, it's all men, because then they're impregnating all these girls, like
All the
they're going to
girls
different girls,
on
you
the
know?
table are getting raped,
Mm-hmm.
and you're
But they're
about
all,
14, 15.
no, this is 11, 12,
Mm.
13, and 14. That,
So all
that,
the
that
girls
time.
that are menstruating, they're
Uh-huh.
raping. Do
Mm-hmm.
you do you know any of these people? Do you remember any of them?
I remember Angie there, the Angie Dollar. We kind of compared notes and stuff, and we saw each other there, and she came from another house.
Do you
So I
remember
saw
any of
her
the
come in.
perpetrators? The
I do see Hillary Clinton like in the background there, like observing, she watches and stuff like that. And I do see Bill Clinton like that kind of a thing. But when that's happening, then it's like it you don't see or feel nothing in a way. You're
right.
just
Yeah, I know. I
like
know you.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you don't scream, you
No.
don't do nothing,
No, they'll kill
because you'll,
you.
yes, exactly.
Kill you.
So and there are girls that were screaming, because one of them like shifted or something like that, and then she screamed. I
Oh
guess
my
maybe they
God.
wanted her to or something, and then they rip her apart, and her body parts are all over the floor,
Right.
So you're taught not to do that, to you, like you can see all these different things, you all you see is like a blank thing, you don't see like all these different projections that they're showing you, you just see,
Yeah.
you just are numb, it's just numb.
That's weird, the Farrah Fawcett one. I've never heard anybody
Hmm.
mention her.
Yeah.
Do you
Hmm.
think it was her or someone that looked like her?
Probably her clone,
A
probably a clone.
clone, yeah.
Hmm.
She had a
Yeah.
very awful death. I mean, she seemed like a sweet girl that just got into the wrong place at the wrong time. And she had a
Oh.
horrible death of like anal cancer or something, but
Oh.
which would
Hmm.
tie into this program. But
Yeah, she was a sex slave in this life, she, all
I
them
didn't know
girls would
that.
be. Yeah, they all of these movie stars, they
Yeah,
are, you
yeah.
know.
I
Yeah,
know. I
I
don't know
mean they are.
why I did, why she wouldn't be. Everyone else is.
Mm-hmm. Most
Um,
definitely, because she was a sex symbol, and
yes,
they
yes.
always they
Yep.
will always do that with all the women and men too, to try
Yeah.
to, because it's for control. I mean, they sign these contracts, and then you have
Yep.
to go do all of these things, and then they clone your body. They do that. They do the same thing to everybody, you know.
And even
So,
in a way, like Charlie's Angel is like a pimp and the his whores, his hookers. I
mm-hmm,
mean,
mm-hmm,
it's a a smoothed over version, a whitewashed version, but the
yeah,
elements of the controller and the sex slaves are there in Charlie's Angels.
mm-hmm,
As
yeah,
she was
yeah,
in that. So I
yeah,
know this is like horrible, horrible. You're all getting raped and
mm-hmm.
impregnated, and then I know it gets even worse. Like I don't know how you even recovered,
Yeah.
but
Well, um, I knew I with the Karuna Reiki, that's how it's
yes,
allowed me to heal all of these things and be able
yeah,
to look at it through an observer's perspective. So I can look and tell you this without being triggered, So
yes,
I've healed all these aspects of me, so I can go
yeah,
into wherever you need me to, and look at them from an observer's perspective and like that. So this is from age 11 to 14, and at this place, at different places we are sent to this mothers of darkness castles, in its houses, and its just parties, and the thing is to impregnate you every single all the girls, every single time there's a party, they're impregnated, and then there'll be another party where they are extracting the embryo, and then they're like having a feast on all of that too, so if you don't get pregnant, then they remove you from the house. You don't stay in the house, so you have to produce every single time. So you
and
have to eat right and do all these things, that they have you like taking vitamins or whatever, they have you do
yeah,
all the girls. And so if you don't though, then you get kicked out of the house. So
and that usually means you're dead, you're killed.
yeah, you wouldn't be useful, because
Yeah,
you're not able to give them what they're needing. I don't know where they even go. They're just gone. But those two girls stayed in the house. They could produce and stuff, and I stayed in. So all three of us. And then at the end of this time, at the when I'm like 14 or so, then there's like a ceremony at the end. It's like where it looked like a circus to me, like a circus tent. And then George Bush Sr. is with me. He's taken me into the tent, and he's given the lady here at the front, it's like giving him an envelope, and it has like whoever, like I won like the top, there's
oh
like they're
yeah,
picking the top three girls out of all the houses, and then they're picking the top three mothers, and then they'll be eliminating all of the rest of them and starting over, so that's kind of what they're showing us, like them on the wheel, on that turning wheel, and a
mm-hmm.
clown is like throwing the knife at him, is what I was seeing all of it. And they show us that too. So we're all everybody's kind of, like the adrenaline is like, oh my gosh, am I going to be eliminated, like they don't know. And then at the end, then we're called up there, that George Bush is up there with me, and he's awarded a check. I don't know how much he's given, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's happy about that I produced, and mostly produced, and was being able to do that, like producing and behavior, and in that wise too, because then that's people want that, they want someone who's able to do their job, so he gets a lot of money and recognition for my productivity,
Was he a
so
shapeshifter as well? Like, oh, I see werewolf energy. Maybe did he shapeshift into anything else?
yeah, maybe that's where I'm connected with him too, with the lichen DNA in a way too, with that. So I feel like real hot all of a sudden saying that. So I think that's maybe it might be my connection with him in other times is like a lichen, like a werewolf shapeshifter kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. That DNA for the military, and
Mm-hmm.
because of my big in the German side too, but also Native American side too
Yeah.
is able to do that. So yeah. So that and I feel real like hot inside thinking that too. So I think so because the werewolf has they get really hot and they're able to heal themselves and grow back their limbs and
Mm.
stuff too. Like not me but here, but like a werewolf, you know? So I think that's how I'm connected with him as the werewolf. And he can shapeshift into a reptilian too. His face, can go to reptilian face too, like a Draco looking,
Mhm.
maybe that's one of his aspects too, like that. But I know he can shapeshift at certain times, like
Do you
that.
have
So,
any response to other sex slaves, elite sex slaves, monarchs like Elizabeth Wallace and maybe Kathy O'Brien said this, I'm not sure, that they were trafficked to most from, I think for Elizabeth Wallace, it was from Jimmy Carter all the way to Trump.
oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so she
Well,
said that Obama and Bush were the most evil and the most cruel. Does
yeah.
that how does that resonate with you? I mean, it makes me feel
Um,
like, how do you get away from this energy of him?
yeah. No,
What do you think of that opinion?
I'm guessing that is with the werewolf thing, and that is probably why I feel different or I'm treated differently by
Yeah.
him, you
Okay.
know, because even if he did hit me or something like that, then I don't it doesn't ever hurt, like that. Nothing hurts like that.
Is
What hurts most is his emotional response, like his mental
Wow.
response that way. That if he was to say, okay, I'm leaving for good, bye, I'm not coming back, like never see me again, like he can't leave. Like he's like he doesn't ever leave. Like even now, like I don't see that he's ever fully gone,
From you?
like so, yeah, like I don't feel that he's left. Like I can still see him easily, and I would
Really?
still, even if he came into my house here, I would like him. Yeah. That's something that is.
You can't find any rage towards him for what he did to
No,
you?
I don't feel that. I feel
Hmm.
like he is like I don't know. It just seems like a parent that's gone through a difficult times together or
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
like that. And there's no I don't have any hatred,
Hmm.
any for any of them.
Hmm.
Not even like Obama. I don't see, because I've seen him in one experience too, and he was more sad feeling. He was like sad,
Hmm.
and than anything. So I know he's uh abused as well,
Yeah.
and mind controlled. So I know he is like that.
What did you think of seeing all of those presidents at the inauguration? I know it was pretty hard for some survivors of MK Ultra and sex trafficking to see them
No,
all together in one place.
I don't like I can look at I would be able to go up to any of them and say hi or whatever, like it doesn't.
Yeah.
I know that most of them are clones anyway. They're not the
Right. Yeah.
original self. Like Biden is not, that's not his real self,
Yeah.
he looks completely different,
Oh my,
So
I
he's,
know.
yeah, and then Hillary, I've seen her in other places in the brothel places. So and I've had to like, I'm like a brothel manager person like that. And so I have to manage the girls that she orders to come to her house. So I have to watch the girls because she's like a succubus. So she like stuffs them in herself, and she hides them and like eats them and stuff. So she's like a big, um, like succubus, like something like funky, weird. You know how she changes into
He is
something
definitely one
kind
of the
of
most
gross.
evil people
Yeah,
on the planet right now.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't like I don't I'm not afraid of her.
Hmm.
Nothing. There's nothing. I'm not afraid. Maybe it's my angelic DNA. Maybe
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
what it is, that I
Yeah.
don't. I don't have any fear of these presidential people. Um, I'm trying to feel
Well,
where
they
the
they
fear
all
would
kind of
be.
look pathetic now, but I guess it
Yeah.
would feel, you might feel grief or,
Mm-mm, I don't feel
you
that.
know.
I don't. I just feel like neutral.
Yeah.
Let them. There's no
Yeah, I know what you
response.
mean.
Hmm.
So how did you ever escape? I don't know what time it
Okay,
is.
so then it's like
How did you escape?
after this circus place, then I leave this Mothers of Darkness place, and then so like from 14, so I'm taken to this military base, and it's like a hangar. It's abandoned hangar base.
Mhm.
It's like a school, and there's other kids there too that are doing the same. It's like military school, and it's training because we're being remote. Training and remote viewing with the gray alien out in the like there's a hangar base, and then the tables like out in the on the concrete out here, and we have to practice remote viewing. So that's what the tall gray, that's the teacher. And then there's me, and then James Rink is my teammate right here across from me. So we're like a team. And then there's two other girls here at the table too. And then so we go out there and we do this training, and then we go back inside, and it's underground, and then it's like in a interrogation room, and that's where the reptilian is, that's doing the psionic um training, where he's where we come in, one of us at a time, in this interrogation room, and then we're given like a shot, so we can kind of, I guess, relax or so. And this is age like 14 to 16. This is the 20 and back, the SSP. And then
Okay.
so this is going to be um the Draco will come in, or reptilian. I'm not sure. It has a tail, It doesn't have wings or nothing. It just has a tail, and it's like a coach, like looking reptilian, like buff. And then he sits down, and he's like training me. He's like looking, and then it's like to get into my mind, and then so he's training all the time, like every single day. This is training to stop it, to make it block, so he can't do that, and then to take control and give it back. So he's doing kind of all of this telepathically too. There's no talking or nothing like that with the mouth. It's like mentally talking. And so he's training to do all these things with each of the kids. They would come in and do this. When he's finished, then I would leave, and then the next kid would come in, so we would do that all every day, with that training. So we were, that's also off of a point thing too, because George Bush Sr. is still, he still he would call this time. He wouldn't show up at this place. And then he would be call, it was like a dorm room, and then he would call, and I would get a phone call, and I would go get it and know that it was him, and he just reinforcing, I guess, the programming, or checking to make sure I'm doing a good job for him, or something like that, like always that, always keeping me on point, doing my job, and like this, I'm in a straight line always with that. And and then so after this whole thing is over, like the 16 years old, that's like a 20-year thing, and then so there's like a graduation thing at the end of this, where me and James Rink, we got the top place out of this group of kids that was with us, and George Bush, he gets a thing, another letter with, the check and stuff. And then James Rink has a handler too, and his is that Heimlich, whatever. It's like a German
Yeah.
guy. He knows who it is, and then so he's given a check, a reward for James's thing too, and then what I was seeing is that George Bush Sr. is given the option to, where we could go to Mars and the moon, and then he's given clones, like awarded clones, and he can go work on the moon or Mars, and have like a cloning center. So that's what we go and do together, is work at this cloning. It's like a warehouse,
You and
and he
James or you and Bush?
Bush.
Okay.
Hmm. And James, um I don't know where he went. He went on another place. He went someplace else. Um but
So,
yeah.
um, you and James Rink, Like we all want to know. Is it's just a romance off planet, not here, not this timeline? It was just
Yeah.
because there's so much that you shared, you two.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
it's
because
like
we've
we're
had
we're always like, they'd make such a cute couple, but
oh yeah.
but
You
I
know,
think
well, he lives in North Carolina, so we don't even live close to each other, you
yeah,
know, to but I am going to his conference in October, so I'll be able to meet him then in person, you know.
good. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so but this is just me recalling him in all these
Okay.
places, you know, and
It
then
just seems
bringing
like
it
you have
to him.
so many connections and so many
Hmm.
timelines. And were you
Yeah.
twinned? Were you twinned or no? You and James Rink.
I don't never really, I'm always programmed to go and give him messages, you know,
Okay.
like as mostly like a sex slave person, you know, to
Right.
give him because he's like the military person
Yeah.
or however, you know, and then so I'm always giving him a message and he can receive it like that through I guess because we mesh well in these programs together like the
Yeah. You do have
communication.
a connection, like a
Hmm.
strong connection.
Yeah, so I'm able to find him too easily in places, you know, so I can he can ask me, "Can you see me in this or that?" you know, and then I'll look for him in this place, but I kind of have to be able to know what it is before,
Mhm.
you know, because he's asking, "Have I been at any of these castles or done any of this?" And then I'll find him. I'll see
Mhm.
that. I don't see myself there, but I can find him his aspect there and so I can track him that way, you know. But he doesn't have that ability. He's been shut off, you know, so
Yeah.
he doesn't recall like I do. So
And
yeah.
he's still being abducted, I understand, from his super soldier
Yeah.
talk on Telegram that he's still
Hmm. Yeah, he gets
we
abducted. He
yeah,
gets taken a lot, you
I
know, and
just can't believe that there's no way to
yeah.
stop that. It just blows my
Hmm.
mind.
Yeah, I don't know either because
Um,
I think that's why he can't remember because he's always being constantly blank slated, you know.
yeah, he
So
knows
he's
so
always
much.
yeah, and then he's blank slated, and then he's like, "We talked about that," or however, you know, and
Yeah,
then I have to kind of re-talk about it, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, now I remember," you know. So
yeah.
so
So, I we're probably coming up at least an hour and a half. How did
oh, okay,
you are? I mean, I don't know. I don't even. I can't even see any clock anywhere. Can you?
the clock. I don't know
Me
what
either.
time it
Me
is.
either. Okay. Well, then we
Yeah.
won't worry about it. But you're not being taken anymore. And when did you finally get out? If that's the right word, do you ever get out? And are you out? And
Um,
how did you get
I
out?
Um, I I feel like I still get used. Maybe my definitely my clones. My
Yeah.
clones will be, you know, activated and used. I know that I have implants. Like I have one in my arm, and
Yeah.
I know I have some in me that I don't know. And then I'm trying to get rid of all the ones that is in my sacral area, you know, for the sex programming and
Mm-hmm.
reading and stuff. So I think I'm still in those alien reading programs, you know, so I still feel that I'm trying to like disconnect those, but how would you know you've disconnected them if they can stop time and put you back and then you don't even
Yeah.
know that you were gone, you know,
Are you
like
being
that. So
targeted? Are you a targeted individual now? Do you feel like you're being targeted by the
it's
CIA?
well, it's mostly just an astral that I feel that I wake up and I feel it, you know, or
Yeah.
you know, like I'll have a bad dream. Like my dream is always when I dream this, I know that that something's gone on where they create a panic.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing like my son when he's like 7 years old and he's having to wait outside school and then I'm trying to get across town in traffic and I'm stuck in traffic. So they create this panic in me that I can't get to him and it creates like a high stress for me and that triggers that altar that they need me in that frequency to
Huh.
put me in and then I'll wake up the next morning and I'll remember that dream and then I'll remember something negative happening. It's not
Yeah.
alien stuff, it's more like of his dad and my son's dad, you know, who I don't respect him at all because he's completely abandoned his son in this life. So I don't have like that respect for him. And so it'll be something with him that I'm like, yuck, that's
Yeah.
disgusting,
Yeah, they do that
like,
to me too.
mm-hmm,
Like they have your memory banks and they know your traumas from your whole life and they'll
mm-hmm,
they'll they'll replay like synthetic dreams through your subconscious at night
yeah,
so that wake up in a state like it's happening or
mm-hmm,
it's happened again
yeah,
and
yeah,
it keeps you traumatized and maybe I didn't know it that maybe it does trigger an alter as well.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because
But
there's another dream too where I'm dreaming of being at work with a bunch of females and they're all so negative, bitchy women, and they're just all negative to me. And I'm
yeah,
just like, and it puts me in a different state because I'm not like that. I'm like the person that doesn't fit in with their group, so that triggers that frequency too in me,
yeah,
so that scenario. And then my son, so those two things, I'll see those in my dream and know that something happened.
yep,
Mm-hmm,
yep.
mm-hmm,
I've experienced that too.
yeah,
I mean, how many? I understand from John Whitberg that he thinks 3 million children were, no, 2 million abducted into Montauk alone.
oh,
And we're
okay,
not talking about all the other programs. And
mm-hmm,
abducted, some of them abducted right off the streets of America
yeah,
after Operation Paperclip. Some of them were, you know, MK Ultra parents and CIA that turned them over. But we have
mm-hmm,
a huge, and I don't think it's maybe it's subsiding, but I'm sure the Mother of Darkness is still in operation and children are still getting
mm-hmm,
stolen off the streets and for satanic
yeah,
ritual. And
oh, that's
how is
different.
it going to
Mm-hmm.
stop? Like what, you know,
I
you,
don't, yeah, I don't think that does stop because that's their food. That's the reptilians' food as humans, and
right. And it's
they,
money for our
yeah,
politicians and our military and
mm-hmm,
it's their technological advances, but it's not
yeah,
normal to human life. It's not normal to
no,
Earth. We did live in a paradise Earth, and now we're slaves,
yeah,
especially children and women. They're using our wombs, they're using our children.
mm-hmm,
And without
mm-hmm,
us, everything without our bodies, that, like it's
yeah,
got to stop. It has to
yeah,
stop. It can't keep, something
yeah.
has to switch. I mean,
Yeah, because like in space though, they have, the humans as slaves, and then so there's all kinds of stuff that they would be they would just go to space, they would take them to Mars or on a spaceship or something else, so they're always going to be lots of humans, like they'll breed them or they'll clone them and they'll eat them or they'll do all this stuff. It's like a food source and a slave source, so they kind of just continue on. They rarely change their behavior, it continues on like they have a pattern, that they follow and stuff, and it's generational, this, so that's why it kind of they just stick with it because it works all this time, so no matter if they are in these um off world, because it's mostly off world, that would be. And then they have the slave trade here too, but it's like, if I don't see how they would stop it, because then they have all these underground bases, and they have even women who want to be as a prostitute too, who do that, and then they, they're so, you know what I mean, like there's women who that's
yeah.
their choice is to do that, so
Do you have any hope for joy and happiness? Do you believe in a higher self? Are you
uh-huh,
experiencing joy now? You seem like you do. You've
yeah,
got
I
joy in your
definitely
eyes.
definitely that's my uh because I know I've gone through a lot of stuff with my son because he's intellectually disabled, so I've been working to put him in a group home. So he's in a group home now because I couldn't do any of my work here that I'm supposed to be doing, like the
Right.
interviews and doing these
Right.
things like this,
Mm-hmm.
because he's I have to take care of him 24/7, so I didn't have time to do much of anything. So now I do. Now he's living at the group home and he's happy there, and now I have my own life, so we're
Right.
separate, and then I still go to see him, and then he's happy to see me and stuff like that, and then I'll come back and do my work here. So I'm just now starting to live my life as
Yeah.
myself, on
And you
my
have
own. Because,
hope for for
hmm
some happiness and a
yeah, I mean,
family or
that's,
something. Yeah. That's
yeah,
great. That's
I want to
amazing.
travel. I want to do things. I want to bring out more of the positive alien stuff, the ET
Yeah.
stuff, the
And
galactic stuff,
healing.
and light language and my artwork and
Yeah.
Reiki stuff like that. That's what
Yeah.
I want.
Because I mean, I find that there's certain Reiki symbols that even help with that synthetic dreams and
Hmm.
keeping me protected at night. And, I use all my healing skills to be,
Hmm.
shamanism and soul retrieval and
Yeah.
herbs and flowers. Everything helps me be present and be able to experience joy. So,
Hmm.
I would love to see a women's like secret space program conference with
Oh,
like,
yeah.
those of
Hmm.
us that were in the program, but that are also healers, which
That would be
most
good.
everyone is, because that's why they
Hmm.
took you to begin with, because you were psychic or shamanic.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I would love to see that happen too.
Yeah. I seen like that's a Life Expo or something,
Yeah,
that Conscious Life Expo. They had that, and there was a lot of like vendors and stuff that looked really cool to be able to go to something like that. That looked fun, and not just like sitting and listening, and you
yeah,
actually got to do stuff and do learn new skills too, because they have like crystals and
yeah.
healing and
And
all kinds of
bringing
stuff.
all our healing stuff, I think it would be
Hmm.
fun to do a women's
Hmm.
only for. I don't know for what reason, but
Yeah.
we share a collection of feelings, I guess, that may be unique to the men
Hmm.
survivors. I don't know, the
Hmm.
super soldiers, but I'd like to see that happen too. And I
Hmm.
mean, if we could wake people up, then the collective imagination of humanity would change the timeline and change all
Hmm.
this. But the fact that so many people don't know it exists, this child
Yeah.
abduction and MK, they can't imagine a new world because they don't even know the world they're living in.
Hmm.
So I think
Hmm.
disclosure is so important, and that's what these interviews are about. And
Yeah. Hmm.
if we wake humanity up to the negativity, they can rethink or reimagine, because we can create a new timeline with
Hmm.
that's why they try to keep us under control, because we have so much power to create.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so, but it's not enough with just a few of us. Like, humanity needs to wake up, and I hope to
Hmm.
God that happens soon.
Yeah. Hmm.
um I
Seems
know
like
it's
it.
yeah, it's
Did Did you see the time? Do you want me to do
I don't
the
know the
card
time
readings
either,
for
but
you?
I don't
Yeah.
want to lose you before I get my tarot reading. And I've
Yeah.
told my daughter about you, and she likes tarot, and she says, but I can never remember them. And I said, well, I know a woman who makes her own, and then you'll
Yeah.
always know what everything means because you made it.
Right. That's right. I mean,
So
and
she
then
was
this
kind of inspired by that.
this helps you like with the programs and stuff, like all that too. That's why I wanted to make these, because I list the programs and stuff on them.
Yeah.
So that way I can help also with tuning into you, then I can help you, with
Yeah.
seeing the programs that you're in
Yeah.
and everything
I'm
too.
just getting back my memories. I do have one memory with James Rink, and I have a
Oh, you
memory of
do share that with me so I
just
can.
it's just one memory, and it's not it seemed like a rescue mission, and I think it was in New Berlin in Mars. And I just remember it was after I took Peter's mint tea, Peter the Insider. I thought,
Uh-huh.
this is crazy. Like, this is just mint and, cinnamon and honey or whatever. And I took it, and I had a complete memory recall. The memory was, I feel like we were on top of a mountain, and we were coming down the mountain. I was like in a cart, lying in the back of a cart, and he was pulling it with a motorcycle. And I
Oh,
felt like he had just rescued me. But I was so mentally dilapidated. We were going around very narrow cliffs, and he was riding a motorcycle pulling
yeah.
the car. And I was even like, I don't even care if I go over the edge. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I just, but then it was like he had rescued me. And I woke up because I was like in a fetal position. I feel like he had gotten me from somewhere. I don't know where it was. And then we got to the bottom of the mountain,
Mhm.
and we came into this little town. It looked like an old European town, which at first took me off. Like I thought it was the Earth, but then I said that like I heard other people like John Whitberg or somebody say that off planet on Mars they have an old like European town, like Berlin on Mars is, and it was like little white house with like flower things on the window, and there was cobblestone streets, and we stopped and we got out, and I was about his we were both about the same age, like 25, so I don't know what timeline that was. And then I think we stopped for a snack or something, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I sent him a video describing it, and he had no recall of it, but I think that
Right.
happens a lot for him. Like
Yeah,
so
he
many
doesn't.
people remember him.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I
why.
have memories about 4 years old of piloting. I don't know if they were German or American, but very small vest, like they almost look like UFOs, little black. Um, I don't even, you can't call them a jet or a plane, or they're like UFOs. And I was piloting him at about 4 years old telepathically. I was steering this ship, this very, very tiny ship, and I think I was dropping bombs somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And then
What
I
about like with the hybrid program with you?
hybrid,
They,
I don't
mhm.
know. I know
Yep.
I think my sister told me a long time ago that my mother had two certificates and one was German. So I know I think I've got that in me, and I
Like
also
Project Surrogate, does that the Project Surrogate where you have been one of the females and being impregnated with
I
somebody else's DNA, their sperm to be have a baby, and then you'll have the baby in this hospital place. It's German. It's the German program, and then your baby is given to a family to be raised in the program.
Well, it
It's
sounds like
German.
what happened to me in this lifetime through family court. So it
Oh,
could have
really?
been, yeah, it
Yeah.
could. I wrote a book about it. Um,
Okay.
I'll send it. I want to give you a book for being on
Yeah.
my. I hope I can get some more subscribers. I think I'm being very seriously shadow banned, but wow, I don't even have a copy of my book at my own bookshelf. But yeah, I wrote a whole book about it. Sounds like something that would happen to me, but
Yeah. I feel like you've seen John Whitberg too in these places. Like you have
yeah.
been a soldier, a female soldier, like in the brown suits and stuff like that. But I feel like you've seen him interacted with him as a soldier,
Yeah.
like in the German time. And then
Yeah.
I see you as a mother doing being like a young girl being impregnated, and then you're having baby or like a breeder,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
with that. And then um I was seeing you also like with the kids too, with the hybridation program, like being taken on ships in astral, in your astral or your other aspects of you, your clone body when you're sleeping, and you're taken onto the ships and you're holding babies that are um well, they're not always your babies because they're just alien babies, that they need comfort and care and they need compassion, um energy, so they take us to go and hold these babies and give them that. Do you
Oh
recall
yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's kind of hitting deep.
Yeah, because you do that. I think you really facilitate that. Like that's a kind of a passion of yours in a way too, because you like for the little kids to have a happy life too, like that, and
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
like you oversee it. And I don't think that it seems like you're different. You might be Arcturian in this because you kind of look blue, like a tall blue color, so you might
Hmm.
be Arcturian, and then a tall gray as well, and I see you as like a feline being as well, like a Lyran. I see you as like a Syrian, like you have Syrian and Pleiadian. So you have all these DNAs. You have a whole bunch of different DNA as well,
Hmm.
Yeah. And so you would be also the galactic, the emissary, like going around to these different places and being like a peacekeeper and speaking on behalf of this race or whatever, like the underdog, or standing up for this race, or maybe they're going out like this is the last of them, so you're trying to preserve their memories by record keeping as well, like a record keeper.
Hmm.
um Kind of like that, like you're gathering all the stuff and listening to their story so it's not lost when they die, like that kind of a thing. So you go and you sit with these like elderly races. um
And record
and
their history.
yeah, you record it just by listening. You can listen, and it's being recorded in your mind, and then you can just go back, and it's like automatic or something. Like you just,
Yeah.
maybe they just scan you when you get back, and then it's like that kind of thing. Like it's
Are
not.
these different clones of me doing all
Yeah,
this in this
different
lifetime
aspects,
right now?
of you in other realities. So it's not like it's all realities,
Yeah.
So it's like throughout time, throughout timelines, So it's
Okay.
not just this life. It's
Yeah.
you know um other aspects of you. And
Well, that all sounds like me
yeah. And
in this
then I see you as a
lifetime.
Pleiadian. I see you like with the Pleiadians a lot on
Yeah,
the
that
ship,
yeah.
and I see you as like you are deciding where to go, like a navigator, I would say, like a navigator, not flying the ship, but deciding on like the decision maker for the mission, like the missions and stuff. Like they ask you, and then you are one of the decision makers for that, for where you- where these people will be sent to as well. So you're like an overhead here, and then you're like, let's send them to this place and let's send them to this one. They need this, so let's go and give them this. So you kind of do that too
Hmm.
with
For
the
the for who? For
like the galactic, like how I see it is like it looks like the inside of a mall is how I see this ship. It's like a giant
huge
mothership that
ship.
we're taken to, and then there's like boardroom meetings, but these ships are throughout space, so we have different groups and different
Okay.
meetings that we would go to. And then so you would work at one of the places, and then you tell, like, you work up in their ranks, because at first then you're sent to like all these different places, but then you get stationed somewhere permanent. Then you can tell where to send these people, because this would be the best place, because you've done it too, so you already know where where to send them, with that, which species need help, um like that.
Are
Yeah.
these slaves or survivors of
No,
catastrophe?
these are all emissaries, galactic emissaries, and
Okay.
you're just like the say it's like a manager. Say it's like a manager of
Okay.
them,
Okay.
And so the emissaries are different age groups, or they're brand new coming in as an emissary, and then they're sent to all these different places for experiences with these different ET groups, to go and be peacekeepers, like the mediators, so throughout time,
Yeah.
then you're doing all this peacekeeping work, with different groups too, and sometimes by yourself and sometimes with a group of them, so you would interact with different people too, and then you would all travel together to different places, to wherever they're needing like a peacekeeper or mediator, throughout the galaxy. And you have gone to all these places, and you know all the races. You know all of them,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're aware of all of them. So that's your job, kind of, is to kind of know all of the rate, like you've met them all in meetings and stuff too, because they would come to the Galactic, that ship too. They come to for meetings as well. These ET groups too. They have to come to you, and you have to go to different places too, like travel far, to these different ET galactic ships. It's like the same thing, but it's like all praying mantis or different. They're all different, they all look different. And you're not, you don't, nothing strikes you as scary, you don't.
I've been around.
Hmm. Yeah.
Been
You
around
don't,
the block.
yeah, you don't get scared, even if
No.
they look, even if they look scary.
No, I don't think anything would scare me at this point.
Yeah.
That's how
You're
I
just
feel,
like,
kind of like you, you know.
hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. And it was just because we know all of them and we've been around and stuff,
Yeah.
so because you can communicate in many languages too, in your light languages and stuff. Do you speak light language?
Not that I'm aware of, no. Maybe I
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, you could speak different languages, ET languages. If you
Hmm.
listen to like light language transmissions, on YouTube,
Oh
then
yeah.
you would feel those.
Yeah, I find
You
that
would feel
really
them.
fascinating.
Hmm. On the ones that you resonate with, though, not
Yeah.
all of them, because some of
Okay.
them I don't. Because I was listening to some today, some a dragon and Arcturian, and then just different ones, and I would turn it if I didn't feel it in my body. Like it
On
has to I have to feel it.
Is this on YouTube?
Different
Oh, okay.
different people speaking light languages of the Arcturian, like they can channel Arcturian and Lyran, Pleiadian, or whatever, like all
Mhm.
different kinds. And you just go with what you feel. Some of them I'm like, this, they're not, I don't feel nothing, So
Right, right.
I have to feel it in my body, with that.
Yeah,
So I picked all the cards. That's what I was doing. I was picking, I have
that's what I
one,
thought.
2, 3, 4, 5 decks, and then I just pick it intuitively, the cards, um so yeah, they're all different too. So I'll start with the first. We'll just go through the symbols, and these are symbols that I write, and they're like channeled from higher self or from the galactic. So I don't always have like an it's kind of whatever you feel. I leave it up to you,
Mhm. Yeah.
because everybody feels something different, and see, this is flashing, so that means like truth. When that flashes, you are a scientist
I see.
on alien craft.
That is
Scientist.
so interesting. That's flashing.
Yeah, so the scientist. So this is gonna be like where you're a scientist, so like a genet, like where maybe you do like plants, or you do like DNA,
Mhm.
DNA, like biology in that way, or life forms. So it can be many, many things there.
Mm.
Black Ops soldier. These are going to be in other aspects of you, or clones, and other realities. And then the hummingbird.
Mm. Of the hummingbird.
Oh, Dark Fleet.
Oh, I did see an aspect of myself as a female SS officer
Okay.
right
Mm-hmm.
now, right now in another
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah.
I've seen that and I'm trying.
Yeah. I think that's like with John Whitberg, I think too, with there. I can kind of see that.
Hmm. Command.
Commander of a spaceship. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. That sounds.
And then this is like the fire symbol, the triangle,
Mhm.
with some light language.
Yeah, that would
Love yourself first.
it's probably my biggest challenge.
Yeah, as empaths, definitely it's hard.
Yes, I definitely
Pleiadian.
call it Pleiadian.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt that.
and Syrian aquatic being, a Syrian aquatic being. So this would be like a dolphin DNA, you know, in Atlantis, or
Oh, yeah.
mermaid.
My mother always talked about Atlantis, that she was on
Mm-hmm.
Atlantis and she had experienced the
Okay.
hero of Atlantis. So I grew up very
Mm-hmm.
early connected to Atlantis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's some light language of, I think this is going to be like the praying mantis, how they write
You know, it's
just there.
when I was young, I used to make symbols like that, and I always
Oh,
wanted.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you have the invisibility, that psionic ability to be invisible,
Mm-hmm.
where you could just blend, like you can blend in to the wall or whatever, and they just walk by you and then
Yeah.
they don't see you,
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
also like fox medicine
Oh, box medicine. Yeah.
is part of yeah, hiding yourself. Stargate.
Yeah. Project Stargate. So traveling through portals and timelines, timeline jumping to different places, interdimensional beings around you.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel supported from every realm. You know,
Yeah.
spirit
Yep. I
realm, the
see that.
galactic, the power animals.
Starseed.
Mm. These are all really positive in a way.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
well, I love those faces. What are
The little praying mantis.
Oh, I
They're
love.
like the praying mantis.
Yeah,
They're friendly, huh? I feel
yeah,
like friendly.
they're adorable. Hmm.
So it's um intuitive seeing, invisible contact. So this is like interdimensional, you know? Like you can see them though, even though they're, you can't, nobody can see them, but you can see them in your mind, you know?
I've seen Dracos around me, unfortunately, in the last few years.
Protection amulet. So do you have a protection amulet? I'm sure you have lots of them, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I go through
Mm-hmm.
them, and then I lose the medicine bag, and then I get new ones. Right now, I'm actually just have a rose quartz on, but
Oh, okay.
I usually have a bunch of stuff right now.
And altars created. So you
So
have
yes.
altars of you, you know, and this I'm not sure if you would have it in this, but different altars in your other aspects of you, you know, and the other super soldier program and all that too. Because I think you probably have healed all the altars that you have now. I mean, you might
Yeah.
change a little bit, like with some stuff, but I don't think that you could be controlled like that anymore, you know? Like
No.
in childhood, probably you could, you know, like that, but then now I think you've healed all the
Yeah, I mean
integrated.
through my 20s even, I was easily mind controlled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've
I
had
think you.
like probably 25 soul retrievals from shamans too.
Oh, okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I retrieved an altar of mine from a cyborg recently.
Oh, okay.
I felt like a calling, and I went and I saw like this, I think it was a cyborg, it was like in a white, and it was like dying, and I think it telepathically reached out for me and told me, because I
Oh,
don't think there's any other way I could get the altar if they was
yeah.
still alive. So
Right.
I retrieved that piece of myself just recently. I
Oh,
think
nice.
I don't know, it's a cyborg. Yeah, I used all my soul. I've got 30 years of training in shamanism and soul retrieval. So I went in and
Yeah.
brought, I think, a cyborg. I don't know. I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen one.
Yeah, if that's what you feel and think, then that's true, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sit in the sun when we can, you know, when it's nice outside.
Yeah.
It's been kind of cold here. And then cloned bodies made of you, cloned bodies. So you have clones, you know, that have your consciousness in it throughout other places, you know, that are far off, you know, that I don't even know if we would ever be able to retrieve them because I mean they are doing their own thing, like they would be like us here, you know, so we wouldn't, yeah. So
There is an original though, right? And eventually you join together. when you die,
I
hopefully.
I just wondered if that was where the original is our higher self. I just wonder that,
Yeah.
who the original is,
Yeah.
who has the original. And I have wondered that too. I think that's it says, "Don't tell me no." It's blinking too.
Well, that's
Don't tell
really
me no.
important.
Uh-huh.
I love this flashing stuff. That is crazy.
Like you don't like to be told no. Do you not like to be told no?
Yeah.
Like if somebody says no, and then you're like, "Ugh," like I'm doing it anyways, you
That's,
know.
I wonder why it's like flashing like it was real. Oh yeah, Antarctica.
Antarctica,
Yeah.
the flashing, but I've seen that just as confirmation. Like it's like a yes, like when it's a
Yeah.
confirmation. Oh, I got it again. Don't tell me no. And it even kind of blinked again. It blinked at first. Why did I get two of them? I need to probably put this one out.
Well, there's no coincidences, right? Don't tell me.
No,
No.
yeah, twice. And I keep getting this visualization and invisibility kind of thing. But
Mhm.
you good at
Oh
visualization.
yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Hmm.
yes. I have to
Yeah.
be careful what I think about or I create
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Oh, look, you got the Wolverine gene. So
Mm.
yeah, I think that's the German part then, that they would have injected us with that gene so that we can shapeshift and be more powerful because we're stronger with that gene. Like we can shapeshift, but also run. Like we could do more things with that Wolverine gene. Yeah. The lightning energy. Do you
Mhm.
use the lightning energy?
No, no. It's exciting to me, but I've
Yeah.
never channeled it.
Yeah. I mean, you might talk to it and ask it to,
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
kind of thing. And this is hyena dog man. So I don't know if you have an aspect of you like that looks like a hyena dog man, because it can be on Sirius too, is what I'm seeing is like a warrior looking dog, that's hyena looking, but it's like bipedal, like
Mhm.
humanoid looking, and it's like a dog, because they have Syrian on Sirius, they have the dogs. So this is the blue. They feel they feel kind of Syrian to me.
Mhm. Yeah.
The hybridization program in the SSP. Yeah. So this is confirmation what I was asking you about, the hybridization program, being transported to go on different ships, where there's hybrid children, and holding them and comforting them, caring for them.
I'm surprised
So
they let the children be comforted if they're MK Ultra.
well, these babies are brand new, like they're hybrid babies with different mothers and different breeding programs. So they're kept in cubbies, and these babies are going to be raised on the ship, so they're more alien-like. They don't come to Earth. They stay on the ship because they're more alien-like. You know, take time for you. So you said I got put yourself first and take time for you. So there's two kind of messages for you there. And then we got these. These are more of the ones I've drawn because they're the bigger card. So I think he's kind of like a friendly, like I always keep thinking it's a salamander or something
Yeah,
like
it makes
like
me
that.
makes me smile and feel happy looking at
Yeah,
his face.
like a happy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and more serious.
Mm-hmm. Some light language for you.
That's what I've been drawing half my life.
Yeah. See, you recognize it.
I do. I
The
recognize.
language. Mm-hmm. This seems like it's kind of a tall gray writing, talking about portals and stuff and timeline travels and everything, kind of like a story of that.
Mhm.
Here's some more light language,
Yep.
different color.
There is something really familiar about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been drawing stuff like that all my life.
Yeah,
I
because
kept,
you know all the languages. Mind control, at 0 to 3. So this is going to be when you're first born, you know, put into the programs and stuff, the breeding programs, and um, yeah.
So it was at birth that they started taking me, probably.
Hmm. In your mother's womb, then she would have had programs being done, you know, to you when you was in the womb and stuff, you know, like
Do
that,
you think it
like
was one where
trauma.
they carried me away physically, or they took alters of me, or both?
This is both. Which is where you were taken out, and then well, you would have been like programmed and abused as a baby, and then they would have taken your DNA as well. But then the aliens also have a their own program that they would abduct you when you are a little bit older or come in your room, you know, and then you would also have um also, what kind of like creatures or anything when you were little did you see in your room? Like, did you have different kind of scary things in your room when you were little?
Not that
When
I
you're really
recall, it
little?
was sort of like you. I pretended I had Barbies and
Uh-huh.
trolls and little horses,
Yeah.
but
So you kind of use those as your comfort in a way.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Like even my daughters have more like beings that came to them when they were little than I did
Mm-hmm.
when I was little. I'm not sure if I was shielded or they weren't letting me see them. They didn't want me to know my power or my strength. And so
Yeah.
I see it when
Maybe they had you doing the play and like your Barbies and stuff and your dolls and everything, you know, and that through that they were doing the programming mentally with you, you know, like maybe they were there but we couldn't see them, you know,
yeah.
or it was erased or something because it feels like they were there but we didn't have that imaginary friend, but we like to be alone a lot too, you
Oh
know,
yeah, I just
like
lived
that.
in nature, on the
Mm-hmm.
river and on horses and wood.
Mm-hmm.
That was my only comfort.
Yeah, me too. Same. Like
Yeah.
the being alone. So
Being,
that's kind of like the sun. Kind of
yeah,
feels like the sun energy.
yeah.
On this one is like a
A
what's
gray?
he feel like? It
Light.
feels yeah, kind of like a gray, and then he's kind of green color though, you
Yeah.
know, because he's green.
Yeah, he looks like the guy almost in my picture. I don't know.
He does. I thought that too. Yeah, the eyes, huh? And then here's some information.
Mhm,
Seems like notes, you know, that you're writing down of plans to go to these places or something, you
mhm,
know?
mhm,
Oh, look, here's some like sisters,
mhm,
like your green.
mhm.
They kind of look like hybrids or something, or maybe
Yeah.
you're something. They look okay though. They're not, none
Yeah.
of them are negative feeling. And then the praying mantis teaching, doing school work, you
Yeah.
know, maybe
Always,
teaching the kids or something.
felt connected to praying mantises.
Yeah, and MK Ultra.
Yeah.
See, here's the canine too. The canine variant, the hyena again. So it feels like it's a Syrian hyena dog man because it's like a dog hyena, but the hyenas are really like cat genetics, you
Yeah.
know?
So it's like a female male energy, the hyena.
Um, it's like it's a female that I see you as, you know, but it's the hyena and she's a warrior. She's wearing warrior clothes and she has like a staff and she's like primitive, you know, but it's like on Sirius, the planet Sirius. And she looks like a hyena, but she can run really fast and fight with the stick.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh
so
yeah.
targeted?
Oh yeah. I'm heavily targeted.
Really?
Oh yeah, I have to sleep with like lead shields and
Did you see this as blinking?
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's you
Yeah.
being taken, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it feels like you are happy when that,
I
like, maybe
know.
it's,
I look
yeah,
like take me, please.
yeah, like
Where
by your star family or
I
something. Then
know. I look really happy. I
and that's still blinking too. These people have said that this looks like beings that are kind of like shadow beings right there that come up out of the ground. You
Yeah.
know, like they come up out of the ground right there like that, and then there's men, and men, all these in a meeting of some sort, you know?
Yeah, those are shadow beings for sure.
Something like that, yeah. And then
How many
I got
cards
the
do you have in your deck altogether?
um I don't know how many cards, because sometimes I've thrown them away because I have too many, and then I do feel like I kind of alter out, and I'll be thinking of negative thoughts and stuff, and I'll go through all the cards thinking, who would want this, you know, like, and I'll end up throwing a whole bunch of them away. And I've done that with my artwork, and done that. I've found that I've done that a lot, you know, like like a self-worth kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly.
So 999, the frequency of that, 999. And here's some light language.
Hmm.
Let me turn this thing to where it's like here, and it's easier to see. Yeah, I have. So I haven't counted them. I just another thing of many altars.
Mm.
This can be any of your aspects, though. It's not just, maybe it is you, but you've healed them all, you know? Like you said, 30 soul retrievals, you know, that you've done. So it could be,
Yeah, and usually a shaman will try to heal the soul part before they bring it in. That's what I do.
uh-huh. Yeah, so this is like um feels kind of Syrian a little
Mm.
bit. I don't color all of them. Oh, see the peacekeeper, that's like the thing was talking about with the galactic emissary.
Mhm.
There's the dog again. I don't always get it like this either. The blue dog. So this is going to be the another like a wolf looking the electricity Syrian dog that's like more electricity, kind of like a blue, the electric blue color, you know,
Mhm.
like that. So I think that blue dog in Sirius is like one of the feels like it assists you with your healing. Like when you're doing shaman stuff, it feels like that. Feels like it's like that.
Yeah, I had a dog that looked like that, like a wolf,
Uh-huh.
hyena, and I
Mm-hmm.
was so attached to that dog. I almost didn't survive her death like 4 years.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I did, of course, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
then she appeared to me immediately after, and she was like this dog, human, very.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, I feel that that's that matches with
yeah,
that dog.
her
Mm-hmm.
name was Saphira.
Oh, wow. That feels powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe
Mm-hmm.
what's
See, I have a few more here to go through too as we're talking.
she's telling me that she's with me.
Oh yeah, definitely so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Area 51, and then here's some information too. Some
Oh, Area 51. Yeah, I'm not too far from that place, unfortunately.
connect with your oversoul. Like I guess your higher self and then your oversoul.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of that. What's this say? It says you have a strong connection with,
Nature and animals.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's how I survived. Was
Yeah, solar plex chakras. So I would say that that's your will power, you know. So you use that. I'm sure with the connection to your soul retrieval stuff too, using your solar chakra
Mhm.
to. Is that what you use to go retrieve the?
Well, I take my power animals and guides, and then I go through a portal through the web of life.
Uh-huh.
The power animals are showing me where the lost soul is.
Okay.
And we go, and lots of times it's at the point where someone died,
Uh-huh.
and we go, and generally I'll put the soul into a crystal.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
and
Mm-hmm.
I don't do this ever without helpers, because they
Yeah.
show me whether it's
Yes.
middle world, upper world, um,
You
middle.
just do it automatically too. You don't even think of it. You just go, they just go with you. Like it's not even.
Yeah,
something new. Yeah.
I could never with my mind do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm following their guidance, and usually, depending upon which power animal is, I know what's going to happen. Like if it's jaguar or fox or eagle, or you know, I'll know what's going to happen when we get there by the animal that's with me.
Mm-hmm.
Then we find the soul, and then we talk to the soul because we don't want to do anything against the will of the soul.
Uh-huh.
So we ask them if they're willing to come back to the original, and what they'll contribute to it, and tell them the situation, because sometimes the lost soul
They
doesn't.
don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that they're even dead or lost or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put them like in a crystal, and we come back and you blow it into the heart and into
Uh-huh.
the third eye
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
for a soul retrieval.
Mm-hmm. And then they integrate back into you
Yeah.
to for healing.
So
Mm-hmm.
okay, you seal it with the drumming.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, though that's like it's not to the past few years that I would have called that altars. It was always soul retrieval. And it's a very
Yeah.
ancient art on the earth,
Yeah.
which is why shamans have been systematically eliminated, because we remember how to bring back souls,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Mm-hmm.
counteracts a lot of the mind control.
Yeah, it does.
When the
Yeah.
soul essence is all in the body,
Mm-hmm.
that's what
Mm-hmm.
shamans can do. They can go anywhere in the universe to retrieve
Mm-hmm.
the soul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can go into a cyborg. That's the first time I've ever done that, but I've gone to the land of the dead. I've
Yep.
gone all over the universe, Pleiades.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's generally three places shamans go in on Earth, which is middle world, upper world, and lower world.
Mm-hmm.
Middle
Mm-hmm.
world is the world we're in now, and lower world is the place of all the power animals.
Yeah.
Very
Oh, okay.
benign, loving, beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Upper
Mm-hmm.
world is sort of ethereal. It's more like a heaven, and that's where the
Okay.
ancestors are. And but generally, a lost soul is going to go to middle world or lower world, or now that in the super space program, it's going to expand my concept of where souls go. But it's
Yeah.
very ancient art, and it
Mm-hmm.
like I actually did a master's degree on
Oh.
shamanism. It's not what taught me to be a shaman. That was natural. And I had
Mm-hmm.
teachers on the East Coast. I had teachers in Colorado and Santa Fe, but I learned the history of shamanism from the
Yeah.
master's thesis, and how they've been eliminated. And they were in every single culture on our planet, you know, from
Mm-hmm.
Korea to Siberia. It was like we have this idea it's just native, and the
Oh,
word
yeah.
isn't even a native word. It means
Yeah.
one, it's Siberian. It means one who can see in the dark. But
Mm-hmm.
natives are one of our most recent contemporary history of how shamanism was eliminated with the Native Americans, because
Yeah.
it's kind of a recent history. Like we can
Yeah.
see it in the, you know, we have Black Elk's testimony and a lot of other,
Mm-hmm.
but
With the medicine men, what they're called, like medicine men
yeah,
in there, because they can see.
you know, the Huna in Hawaii, and we as humans, we're all shamans. Like
Yeah.
we have a different name for them now because they've tried to disempower us, but we're all shamans in our natural state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In our higher self state or however.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then we can see all of our aspects
yeah.
and fractals and everything. And I guess maybe not all fractals call out to us or so, you
No,
know?
that
So
was
then
really new.
mm-hmm.
I could feel like like it was dying, or it was wounded, or there'd been some sort of fight, and I
Okay.
telepathically said, "You can get me now," or something, because
Mm.
get me now before they take, and I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. You
And
got it before they returned you, so you didn't have to go back to that, you know, like to that.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense, you know, because you were probably tired of being a cyborg over and over and over, you know, and then so you finally found you to reach out to you, you know.
yes, yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's really good. So
yeah.
here's a few more. This is sh shielding. You do that. Then my heart is open to, I can't read it all the way backwards.
So
To,
deep love.
yeah. to animals. I know that in nature for you for sure.
Animals in nature. I don't know if
Yeah.
let any like it'd be scary for me to let a human, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah.
Let's just say that is that written right? Aries Prime? Oh, the Aries Prime. So that's another 20 and back. Aries Prime. People talk about that place, Aries Prime. And it's just like a 20 and back program. Probably super soldier stuff used as like psionic, a lot of psionic and remote viewing, you know, like that. What about the 29 poems? That down there in California.
I don't know.
They
Is
I
it
think you I think you probably also closed out a lot of them, you know, like shut them down and stuff, the cloning centers and stuff like that. Like I can see you as a higher like a ET self, you know, and taking out all of these places maybe too, you know, like closing them down energetically or something like that kind of thing. I just saw that with that one, with
I'd
that
like to think
29
that
palm.
I'd like to think that was true.
Mm-hmm. And this is what's it say?
Electromagnetic,
Magnetic mind control. Okay, so this is gonna be like where they put the electrodes on your
yeah.
head, you know, like in the Montauk and all that
Yeah, I
places.
mean they're still doing it. They're even doing
Look, the shaman.
oh shaman, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they're even doing it now. They're sending frequencies through.
Oh, they are? You can feel it?
Oh
You
yeah,
can feel that?
it gets high pitched.
Uh-huh.
It gets really, really high pitched if they don't like something I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
Also, they can also put like pressure right here. It's amazing that like this they haven't been able to get through to me that much tonight, but I can I can feel that, you know, they do frequencies through my ear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the many things.
Sit in the sun.
Again,
I'll
yeah.
turn this back in case so it's blinking. Sit in the sun. What do you have, a cat there with you? A
Yeah.
cat?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have a
It
kitten.
says take care of you first. This again.
Ugh.
So it's like the second card of that.
Light language.
Yeah, that's some fun stuff. You're a great leader.
Thank you.
Yep. And Orion. Here's Orion.
Mm.
Orion aspects of you. Yeah. I think you have several of those. These are other aspects of you that live in these places, not for a soul retrieval. These are just aspects of you because you know you have all those. Then I have these last cards here that I made these decks, but they're pretty negative. So, you know, I don't know. They're like
Mm-hmm.
the super soldier and cloned aspects of you. See, she's in a tank there.
Mm-hmm.
My lab.
Mm-hmm.
These are probably more of the truth that we don't like to hear so much, you know, in brothels,
Yeah, I mean, though I know it. I don't know what
the
this
stairs to the bedroom, like that's like in a mansion place, you know?
sounds like. I might have, maybe I knew you there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh,
Kitty.
this is the underground tunnel going through there.
No.
Last one. This is mind files. So this is like all the, if this was in the middle, like your main person, and then all those are would be the alters of you know, programmed, and each one of them is programmed with a different um program or frequency to get it access to or code, you know. So I don't never know if we always retrieve every single one of our alters, you know, because how would we know if it's not coming forward or nothing, you know? Like maybe it's just a dormant altar too. So I think maybe we also have like things that trigger us, and you know, maybe that's some of the altar too. But I don't ever remember anything taking over and coming forward and being a completely different person, you know,
No, I
not
never
in
had
this.
that.
No, but I have feelings of stuff, you know, things will, movies or music can trigger a mood or a vision of something, and then I can go into that whole, I have a whole experience vision of listening to a song. I can go into a whole thing, you know? So yeah, I'm sure you can too with drumming.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
drumming, you can just go into a whole thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I do the soul retrieval is with the journey. It's called a journey beat. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a beat that puts the brain into a different
State.
frequency,
Mm-hmm.
and I can access those realities
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
purposely.
Yeah.
Um,
At will when you're
soul retrieval.
going, when you're doing it. Mm-hmm. And this is for anybody, for when you do it, like it's for when someone reaches out to you, then you can do that and find the missing soul pieces. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can do what I'm allowed to do by the highest for the highest purpose of that person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm guide. It has to come from a very high place. I'm not going to just return anything.
Yeah. Right.
I
Right.
have to ask all of my guides, like, is this in the best interest? And if so,
Mm-hmm.
can we go? Can we retrieve it?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, yes. It's not very often. It's no.
Yeah. If they're wanting it retrieved or
Yeah.
however, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they reach out to you and ask you to
Yeah.
retrieve it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Well, okay,
Gosh,
let's call it a wrap, you
let's
know?
wrap it. I have a lot to think about. Those cards just penetrate so many levels, but I like.
Yeah.
I feel really good. It makes me feel
Hmm.
good. A lot of those cards.
Yeah. That's why I make them to help people, but it's in a good way too. You know, even though it's a negative, some of them might be negative, but
Yeah.
then it doesn't feel negative how I present it to be it's not scary, you know, so yeah.
Explains a lot of parts of me that I didn't really have a word for, like commander. I can act in some strange way. I can see myself as a commander, even though
Yeah.
they
Hmm.
made your self-esteem so low you wouldn't think you could. But in
Yeah.
another aspect, like, yeah, I probably could, or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, because you're like at the boardroom table and then you're giving the assignments to everybody, like you're the main manager or however you want to say, the commander of that ship. And so you're telling everybody what they need to do and giving kind of like they're telling you what's been going on. And so you have control over this whole ship, you know, so I can see that for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
Hmm.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me to come on too. I have so much more to share. That's just 120 and back. I have so
I'd
much,
love to do
you
it
know?
again.
Yeah, because I have Montauk and then I have other side experiences with other things too, you know, with ETs, but then other places with other like pocket realities that I've healed as well. I've healed these aspects, but some are pretty dark and they was hard to go through at the time too, and experience seeing and re-seeing them and going through the details of it and you know slowly so I could heal it, you know. Yeah, some of them are all abusive stuff, you know, with the men and stuff like that. So I've healed a lot of those things. Yeah.
You
Hmm.
seem really in your eyes healed and a lot of.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd love to do it again.
Hmm. Yeah, we can. Let's whenever you feel like doing it again. I don't know when you're uh maybe in a week or so if
Yeah,
you want to. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And if you ever wanted to interview me more about shamanism and my master's thesis and how it relates to the galactic or whatever, I'd like to do that too.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All
We can
right.
do that. And send me the copy of this and I'll post it on my YouTube as well, you know,
All
whenever
right.
you can. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Have
Thank
a
you,
good night.
Christy. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Bye.
Bye-bye.